All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something called system design. It's kind of like the invisible blueprint that lets your favorite apps work perfectly, even when, millions of other people are using them at the exact same time.
Think about it. You're on the edge of your seat, the big reveal is literally seconds away. And then, buffering, crash. It's the absolute worst, right?
Or what about this one? You're trying to pay a bill, it's the last minute, of course, and your banking app just freezes. Total panic. I think we've all been there.
Well, the reason for all that frustration, the one thing that separates a smooth experience from a total meltdown, is this one critical concept: system design. It's the invisible architecture that's holding everything together or letting it fall apart.
So we know what it's called now, but what does it actually do? Let's take a look at what happens when a great app idea smacks into the harsh reality of trying to grow.
The easiest way to think about it is like this. You would never ever build a skyscraper without a super detailed architectural blueprint, right? Well, system design is that exact blueprint, but for software. It's the master plan that makes sure an app can handle a whole city's worth of users, not just a few people.
To make this crystal clear, let's use an analogy. Just picture your favorite little local pizza shop. You know the one. One chef, one oven. It's cozy, it's efficient, and it works perfectly for the usual neighborhood crowd of maybe 20 people a day.
Now imagine that little shop goes viral on TikTok. Suddenly, you don't have 20 customers anymore, you have 2,000 people all screaming for pizza at the same time. The whole place would just collapse into chaos. That right there is the exact problem that system design is built to solve. It's all about planning for success before it actually happens. And that idea of scaling isn't just about going from 20 to 2,000 customers. Oh no, the numbers that modern apps are dealing with are on a completely different planet. You might want to buckle up for this. Let's just start with WhatsApp. Every single day, its systems are processing 100 billion messages. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that number. It's astronomical. And it doesn't stop there. How about YouTube? Collectively, we watch 1 billion hours of video on it every day. That is over 100,000 years of content consumed every 24 hours. The engineering behind that is just mind-boggling. And of course, there's Google, the backbone of the internet. We ask it about 8.5 billion questions a day, and somehow it gives us an answer in milliseconds. Just think about that.
But this isn't just about handling a ton of traffic. It's about money. Lots of it. The cost of failure is just insane. For a company like Amazon, a single hour of downtime costs them almost $5 million. So yeah, the stakes could not be higher.
So the big question is, how on earth do you build for that kind of scale? Well, there are two basic ways engineers think about this, and our little pizza shock is going to help us understand them perfectly.
So first up is something called vertical scaling. I like to call this the Superman approach. The idea is really simple. You just take what you already have and make it way more powerful. So in our pizza shop, this means we don't hire anybody new, we just give our one single-star chef a bigger, faster oven. Now the upside here is that it's simple, right? It's easy to manage one super chef and all the orders are in one place so nothing gets mixed up. But, and this is a big but, there are major downsides. There's a hard limit to how big an oven can get, and more importantly, if your one super chef gets sick and calls out, the entire pizza shop shuts down. That's what we call a single point of failure.
So the alternative is called horizontal scaling, or as I like to call it, the army approach. Instead of making your one chef a superhero, you just hire more chefs. If orders double, you get a second chef. If they quadruple, you hire 3 more. You're literally building an army to handle the work.
The huge advantage here is basically limitless scale. You can just keep hiring more and more chefs forever, and it's resilient. If one chef calls in sick, the others can just pick up the slack, no problem. But this introduces a whole new world of complexity. Now you have to manage a team, and that is where the real challenge begins.
See, this whole army approach creates new problems you didn't have before. With an army of chefs, how do you make sure orders get spread out evenly? Well, you need a receptionist. In the tech world, that's called a load balancer to direct customers. How do you stop 2 chefs from accidentally making the same pizza? You need a central order board, kind of like a shared database. All this coordination gets really complicated really fast.
Okay, so we have Superman, pretty simple, but it has a hard limit. And we have the Army, super powerful, but way more complex. So which one is the right choice? Let's look at the ultimate blueprint.
Here's the simple breakdown. Vertical scaling, our Superman, is awesome when you're just starting out and you need things to be simple. But to get to that massive global scale where you absolutely cannot afford any downtime, you have to use horizontal scaling. You need that army.
But here is the real secret, the big takeaway. It's not an either-or question. The best, most robust systems in the world, they don't choose one. They actually use a hybrid of both.
I mean, think about it. Netflix, Google, Amazon, every single one of them runs an army of thousands and thousands of servers. That's their horizontal scaling. But each individual server in that army is also made as powerful as humanly possible, and that's the vertical scaling part. They truly get the best of both worlds.
So, at the end of the day, here's what it all comes down to. System design isn't really about reacting to problems after they happen. It's about being proactive. It's about building something that is fast, that is reliable, and that is fundamentally future-proof. It's about building for the success you haven't even had yet.
And that, right there, is the difference between a local pizza shop and a global empire. So the next time your favorite app works flawlessly, you'll know about the incredible, invisible architecture holding it all together. Which kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? If you were building the next big thing, where would you start? With a single powerful superhero? Or would you start building an army from day one?